Marsabit. Question number 25, Senator for Marsabit, Senator Mohammed Chute. You will go first so that in the process of your question, then we would have Senator from Senator Kenya present. Honorable Professor Kindiki, you are a ranking member to this House. And so I also take this opportunity to appreciate you for honoring the summons to appear. I believe this is part and parcel of what you previously have taken this House through, and in terms of ensuring that we do serve the people of Kenya. And you're welcome. Feel free, feel at home. Take us through the questions which I'm sure you have already submitted a report to the House. And so you will be cognizant of the direction given in terms of management of time, as well as also the senator who is going to be asking the questions. Senator Chute, proceed.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Let me congratulate and thank our able CS. And I know you're doing a very good job in this country. And as a senator from Marsabit, I know you've done a lot for Marsabit. Thank you and karibu to this honorable House. Mr. Speaker, I have question number 25 and number 26. If you will allow me, I can read both. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Question number 25, A. Could the Cabinet Secretary provide a per-county schedule of vacancies in positions of chief and assistant chief in Kenya, indicating the period the respective positions have been vacant, as well as causes of the vacancies? B. Mr. Speaker, what plans are in place to ensure the recruitment and deployment of chiefs and assistant chiefs to fill the vacant positions? If I proceed, if I may, question number 26. A, what has occasioned the delay in the recruitment?
Chute, allow the Honorable CS to respond to each question at a time. So let him respond to the first question, then you will go to the second question.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Speaker.
Honorable CS, you are welcome to respond to the first question by Senator Chute. You are not on the mic, just hold kindly.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Mr. Speaker, in response to question number 25 by the Senator for Marsabit County, we are not in a position to give the exact information the Senator looks for unless that question is specific to a county, because, Honorable Speaker, the vacancies for positions of chiefs and assistant chiefs occur on a daily basis. For the reasons which I'm going to provide, As the House is aware, our country is divided into 8 regions, 47 counties, 378 sub-counties, 982 divisions, 3,055 locations, and 9,045 sub-locations. And the circumstances through which locations and sub-locations, which is the subject matter of today's inquiry, the circumstances under which locations and sub-locations fall vacant include natural attrition through death, which occurs continuously, dismissal from service once the procedures for dismissal are concluded either by courts or through the Public Service Commission without the pendency of an appeal in any court within the country. These positions also continuously fall vacant due to promotion of the office holder to a higher office. They also fall vacant due to resignation and redesignation of the office holder on request. And based on all these reasons that cause vacancies for chiefs and assistant chiefs, accurate data cannot be retrieved on the vacancies within counties, except if, for example, we are asked for a particular county as at a particular date, in which case we can freeze the date and give the information. Every day we are hiring new chiefs. Every day we are promoting new chiefs and assistant chiefs. Every day some are retiring, others are being interviewed. And that is why the first part of the question, unless it is time-bound and county-specific, is difficult to provide the data. Having said that, Honorable Speaker, sir, it is the policy decision of this administration that all vacancies for chiefs and assistant chiefs will be filled within this financial year. And no office of a location chief or a sublocation assistant chief should fall vacant. Going forward, we'll make sure that as soon as a vacancy is declared, we initiate the recruitment process immediately and fill the positions immediately. Number two, last year was an election year, and that affected many of the processes, because ordinarily when you have elections, we pause some of these processes so that they are not interfered with by political processes. But now the election is behind us. We have taken the decision that this financial year, all positions of chiefs and assistant chiefs countrywide are going to be filled, and those that will fall vacant will be filled immediately without any further delay. In other words, Honorable Chair, Honorable Speaker, sir, the reason why there has been some delay in quite a number of positions being filled is because of last year's general election, which interfered with the procedures and processes which should have taken place last year. But we are going to correct that position this year. The process of filling the vacant positions is guided by the scheme of service for chiefs and assistant chiefs and the service regulations. And once a unit falls vacant, the process of filling the same is commenced, and it includes the following steps. A, the declaration of the vacant position. B, advertisement of the vacant position. 3, interviewing of the applicants. D, submission for appointment. And finally, the appointment of the successful applicants. This year, we undertake to make sure that all the pending appointments where vacancies exist will be filled within the financial year. Mr. Speaker, sir, I submit.
Thank you, Professor, for your responses. To Senator Chute, you, of course, are aware of the fact that you have got the opportunity to ask a maximum of 2 more supplementary questions, which, as per the standing order, are supposed to be within the context of the earlier question, as well as other members if they have questions, they can also get that opportunity. I do not know whether, Senator Chute, you want to exercise that bit right now, or you allow other members, if any, with any supplementary question within this particular question before you sum up with your supplementary, if any.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I will allow my fellow senators to ask questions. Mine will come at the end of session. And please don't forget my last 2 questions.
Senator Chute, you cannot direct the chair, so the chair knows what to do and when. I have in my dashboard
just a reminder.
Senator Boni Halwale. And members, be cognizant of the directions I gave earlier on about time. I will exercise that right when the time allocated for this particular question is consumed fully.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to agree with the Minister that just to give a general question, a general answer for the whole country is ambiguous, and yet we want to be specific. Mr. Speaker, could the Minister help us? We have locations and sub-locations where the interviews have already been done, and some of them date as far back as 6 to 8 months. Amongst them, we have the Assistant Chief of Malinya Sub-Location in Kakamega South, also called Ekolomani Sub-County. Shiseso in the same place, and many other such sub-locations and locations in Kakamega County, and I know it applies to the rest of the country. Could you direct in how many days starting from today the decision will be communicated to the successful applicants?
Honorable CS, respond to that bit.
Honorable Mr. Speaker, sir, I would commit for the specific locations that the Senator for Kakamega has asked, and all other locations and sub-locations where interviews have taken place, the appointments will be done within 90 days from now. 90 days maximum. And Mr. Speaker, if for a second I can explain one of the reasons why it sort of takes some time after the interviews is for us to be able to get the security reports, because the offices of chiefs and other administrators are sensitive offices, and normally we require a security report to come and be triangulated with the results of the interviews. But in 90 days, in all locations and sub-locations where interviews have taken place, the appointments will have been done, and the chiefs or assistant chiefs, as the case may be, will be in office.
Thank you, Honorable CS. I will allow Senator Medhu John Muhia, Senator Alex Mundigi,
Bwana Spika, swali langu wa waziri au usalama. Bwana waziri, tunajua umefanya kazi nzuri sana, miaka mingi hatujawahi kuona ile kazi mtu kama waziri amefanya kazi ile umefanya, na tukiendelea hivyo serikali yetu ya Kenya Kwanza kwa hii kipindi ya miaka 5 itakuwa imeendelea vizuri, kwa sababu tunajua hata wale watu wanaendesha magari kwa barabara saa hii sisi wenyewe tunafurahia, hata wezi wanakuogopa, na pia hata wale watu walikuwa na ruhusa mawe wanakuogopa, kwa sababu ulisema hakutawahi kuwa na maandamano tena, na sasa tunaelekea vizuri. Swali langu ni mambo ya Turkana. Tunakuomba sisi Seneta Masinani tulitembea huko, na kwa kipindi ya miaka mingi kule ni mambo ya vita, na wanafikiria mambo ya vita, na sasa imekuwa hiyo ni njia hata wale viongozi waanjivishia pale. Na kaunti ya Turkana kwa kipindi ya miaka 10 wamepatiwa bilioni 130, na kaunti zingine imepata kama Embu imepata bilioni 6, kwa hiyo ni bilioni karibu 50 kwa miaka 10. Na tukienda pale hakuna pesa ilikuwa inaonekana, lakini mahali wanajivishia ni mambo ya security. Kwa uwerevu yako na kuuliza kama pale sio nguvu itatumika, kama unaweza tumia hiyo uwerevu yako unataka kutumia Kenya, ndio tuweze kuona tuokoe watu jimbo la Turkana. Tunakuomba uone kama inawezekana utumie makanisa na viongozi, uone kama unaweza kuokoa jimbo la Turkana juu ya ukatusi wakati huu. Asante Bwana Waziri.
Senator, before I allow the CS to respond, Senator Mundigi, I had earlier on indicated that when given an opportunity, we ask the CS supplementary questions which are related to the main principal question that had been asked. I do not know whether the question you have asked is in any way related to the original question, other than the fact that it, of course, goes to the CS. But I will allow the Honorable CS to spare a moment to respond or comment on that question. Honorable CS, take the mic.
Honorable Speaker, I agree with the Senator for Embu that while we have spent some time in kinetic operations, which is the use of force to try and secure peace in Turkana and other counties that have similar insecurity issues, it is now the time for us, besides the use of kinetics, to move into peace building, which includes the use of stakeholders to build sustainable peace for Turkana and other similarly situated counties, but also at the same time, Cabinet has approved a special program for counties which have suffered insecurity, especially in North Rift and Upper Eastern, so that we can also begin opening those areas for development as a way of long-term sustainability of the efforts that the kinetic operations are brought in these areas. And therefore, I agree with the Senator that beyond the use of force, we need peace building, and we also need to open these areas for development as a way of sustaining the prevailing situation and permanently resolving insecurity in these areas. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable CS. Senator William Kipkemoi-Kisang.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I wish to thank the CS Elgeyo Marakwet County, Longere Valley. We've had insecurity for a while, and with the intervention of the CS, peace is restored there. My question, Honorable Speaker, is I hope the unit, the locations and sub-locations that the CS has promised that within 90 days they are going to advertise the positions will include also units that were cassetted 2017, and up to now, some areas already they advertised, but areas within Elgeyo Marakwet County, I have close to about 15 units, locations and sub-locations. Since 2017, they were cassetted and nothing has happened. So I hope CS, you are going to promise us that within the 90 days, those units within that side of Elgeyo Marakwet County will be advertised.
Thank you, Honorable Cheptumo. I will allow the CS to respond, and though I have got an additional 3 more members, I will, after the CS responds to that particular question, ask Honorable Chute to ask his supplementary question, considering the directions I gave earlier on. I know Senator Cheptumo, Senator Murango, and Senator Muma, you've got burning questions. The CS is still here for the next 1.5 hours plus. Ensure that your question fits into the subsequent questions. I will prioritize you, but so that we comply with the directive I gave, I will allow the CS, and then shortly thereafter, Chute to ask the supplementary question. Cheptumo, I will prioritize you as well as Muma and Murango in the subsequent questions. Thank you. CS, proceed.
Mr. Speaker, sir, it is true we have a number of administrative units in quite a significant number of counties which were gazetted in the past. They have not been operational, mainly because of budgetary constraints. But we have also, as an administration, made the decision that all administrative units, being sub-counties, divisions, locations, and sub-locations that were already gazetted by past administrations, we have made the decision to operationalize them, and already have made a commitment that the outstanding sub-counties that have been operationalized will be operationalized within this financial year. The same will apply to divisions, locations, and sub-locations, and priority will be given first to areas that have suffered or are suffering acute insecurity. But in the long term, we will operationalize every administrative unit that has already been gazetted, because it is a decision of government which had been done after public participation, and we cannot go back on something that the public had already petitioned government and government had acceded to. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable CS. Senator Chute, if you have any supplementary question, I will allow you a maximum of 2.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I want to, if you will allow me, I want to give one of my questions to my neighbor here, if that is okay with you. And I will not even ask a question. I want to tell our Honorable CS, there is this issue of illiterate sub-county. I know the process has been being fast-tracked. Honorable CS, when and how soon do you think illiterate will be announced or given their sub-county? Because the people of illiterate are anxiously waiting to get their sub-county for the first time in their life. Thank you very much for the hard work you are doing. We are impressed with what you are doing, and we congratulate you and support you 100%, Honorable CS. Asante sana kwa kazi unayofanya. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Senator Chute. Honorable CS, could respond to that supplementary question?
Mr. Speaker, sir, the issue of the illiterate sub-county was raised the last time I appeared before this House. Immediately I left the chamber, I directed that the public participation, which is the requirement of the law, be done for the purpose of initiating the procedure of creating the illiterate sub-county, which is one of the most deserving cases that I know of. That process has already been completed. I want to commit to the House and to the Senator for Marsabit that the illiterate sub-county will be operationalized within the next 60 days, and there will be a DCC and heads of department in place.
Thank you, Honorable CS. Senator Cheptumo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, allow me as the Chair of Security in this House to very sincerely thank our CS. I really appreciate the efforts he's making to secure our country. And Mr. CS, I want to assure you that the House will continue to give you the support. But on the issue of assistant chiefs, Mr. Speaker, the chiefs and the assistant chiefs are the lowest unit of administration in our country. and they play a critical role in terms of administration and peace and order of society. Mr. CS, could you consider public participation in the recruitment of these officers? I'm saying so, Mr. Speaker, because sometimes the chiefs we employ, or assistant chiefs we employ, are people who sometimes are not really able to discharge their functions well. If the public is given a chance to participate in the recruitment process, we can have the best chiefs and assistant chiefs in the country. But CS, would you consider, as a matter of policy perhaps, as we proceed, that the public should be involved in assisting the ministry in the employment of chiefs and assistant chiefs? It's just a policy issue which, in my view, Mr. Speaker, can really help us to have the best administrators on the ground.
Honorable CS, could you respond to that as well?
Mr. Speaker, the recruitment of chiefs and assistant chiefs is governed by the scheme of service, which is administered by the Public Service Commission. And while they are in service, we normally do continuous training and reorientation so that the public interest element is maintained. Nevertheless, we have no problem looking at how in the future the involvement of the public can enrich the process going forward. It's something that we are open to considering. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable CS. That brings us, Honorable Members, to the close of question number 25. I would like to invite Senator Chute to proceed to ask the CS question number 26. Senator Chute, proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, once again. My question number 26. A, what has occasioned the delay in the recruitment of National Police Reservists, NPRs, in Marsabit County and the wider northern frontier counties? Question B, could the Cabinet Secretary indicate the plans in place to ensure prompt recruitment and the deployment of NPRs, and also state the projected timelines for the same? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Senator Chute. Honorable CS.
Mr. Speaker, sir, in answer to question number 26 by the Senator from Marsabit County, I would like to inform the House as follows, that it is true that there was or has been a delay in the recruitment of National Police Reservists in Marsabit County. The reasons for that delay, first, at the time when the request was made by the leaders of Marsabit, we had exhausted the budget for last year, and we were not able to accommodate that request in last year's or last financial year's budget. Number two, at the time when the request was made, many residents of Marsabit County had migrated because of the devastation of the drought that had affected this area, among other arid and semi-arid areas of our country, and therefore it was not practical to carry out the exercise. I am happy to report that the budget issue has been resolved, and therefore this financial year we can accommodate that request, perhaps in a modest way, because again we will give priority to the most needed parts of that county. And number two, now that normalcy has returned and the residents are back in the county, that is the second reason why that process should be able to commence. I therefore plead with the Senator from Marsabit and the House to give us 30 days to report progress on this matter. Honorable Speaker, in terms of the rest of the counties, the deployment of National Police Reserve is as follows. In Samburu County, the government has recruited 460 National Police Reservists. They have already been trained and deployed since November 2022 to date. There has been an additional recruitment of 150 NPRs who were recruited, but they have not been trained, they have not been deployed from the same county. And partly we have realized that the recruitment of NPRs has a bearing on the security of these regions, and that explains partly why Samburu County in most parts have experienced some kind of stability, among other reasons. Mr. Speaker, sir, in Elgeyo Marakwet County, the government has recruited a total of 153 National Police Reservists, and they will be trained. Again, we could not do the training because of budgetary constraints, but we'll be training them this financial year and deploying them. Baringo County, the government has recruited 200 National Police Reservists. They have been deployed accordingly. In West Pokot County, the government has recruited 205 National Police Reservists, but they are not yet, the process is not complete. The training has not been done and the deployment has not been done. Again, this financial year, we have been able to secure resources to complete that process. In Turkana County, the government has recruited 140 National Police Reservists, and they have been trained and deployed. And there has been a further request of 400, which was put on hold in terms of training and deployment because of budgetary constraints. Finally, Mr. Speaker, sir, in Laikipia County, the government has recruited 419 National Police Reservists. The activities will expedite, and for the information of the House, we have also deployed NPRs in other parts, not the parts where the operation is ongoing, including Lamu, and we have...
For the response, asking your supplementary question prior or after the members who have got questions to the CS.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'll ask one question now and the other one later on. Being tested when it comes to civilian firearms. As you are aware, firearm licensing board are checking each gun that belongs to a civilian. They know by identifying what gun has released what bullet. What measures are you going to put in place so that guns for NPRs are also registered under the same licensing board? I think you understand what I'm asking. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable CS.
Mr. Speaker, we are strengthening our ballistic testing unit, and as we speak, the Firearms Licensing Board is carrying out a nationwide operation on firearms and ammunitions. And if they have not reached your corner, they are on the way, because we need as a country to mop out illegal firearms and the misuse of firearms from our society if we have to secure our country. The overwhelming majority of National Police Reservists continue to do a great job in securing the communities where they have been deployed. However, during the past 1 year, we have identified two gaps. One is on supervision of NPRs, And therefore, we are making arrangements to strengthen the supervision and oversight of National Police Service so that the local officer commanding station and other commanders of the National Police Service can account for every firearm and every bullet, every ammunition that is in the hands of NPRs to avoid a situation of misuse, so that we will tackle very stringently going forward. Secondly and lastly, Honorable Speaker, we have had isolated cases devastating. We've had like 2-3 cases, and we have made it clear that when NPRs misuse firearms, we shall disarm them immediately and prosecute them. We have already taken measures on 2 cases, actually 3 cases, 1 in Samburu and 2 in Elgeyo Marakwet County, where unfortunately it was discovered that a raid which had taken place on livestock, there was evidence that a gun assigned to a police reservist had discharged the bullet that had killed the victims of this crime. But by and large, 99.99%, as the House will realize, the rates of recovery have increased, including this weekend, when some livestock has been recovered from Isiolo, which was stolen from, I think, some place 25. In the